Now joining us, new good friend of the show, Todd Minerson, country director of Movember Canada. Todd, welcome to GTC for your first time on the show.
So excited, Adam. I'm looking forward to chatting, and I'm very excited about the partnership between Golf Talk Canada and Movember that we're kind of embarking on now.
Totally. It's all come together very quickly. So, Movember is the official men's health partner of Golf Talk Canada. Todd, in your mind, just how does that sound?
It sounds amazing, and it sounds like overdue almost, if you want to know the truth, because there's just so many mutual opportunities there to talk to men about a sport that they love, but also to talk about their health, and not just men. People who love us and people who take care of us and really care about our well-being. We're normally, talking to people about this in November. Uh, and it's unbelievable to be able to have another opportunity to chat with people about our health and what we're doing at Movember for another big chunk of the year.
Yeah, that's where I was just going to go because as we record this, it is late in February. People might think Movember, only in November. So my big question is, why are we talking about mustaches now in late February?
Yeah, well, it's more than a month. The issue of men's health is something that we have to deal with every day. We know there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 men every day in Canada, for example, who are diagnosed with prostate cancer. Mental health is a 365 days a year issue for people. So all the work that we do and all the impact that we try to make and all the help that we try to bring to men around their health is not just limited to that month of November. Of course, that's when we have the fun and raise awareness and raise funds for the good causes that we serve. But we really are evolving to the point to know where we have to be dealing with this 24/7, 365 days a year. And it's a challenge when your name of your organization is named after a month and you're known for being present that time. But it's really worth the effort to engage in partnerships like this, where we're going to be able to talk about men's health over the whole course of the year and help men understand how they can improve their health during that time as well.
Well, it's so interesting you mentioned that because the game of golf can be very challenging mentally for those playing. I mean, whether you're a weekend warrior, like a lot of the people who watch and listen to the show, or if you're a professional golfer, because it's a really lonely sport. We see these players on television going, taking private jets from place to place and these extravagant meals. But for a lot of these professionals, it's a lonely game. And for us specifically on Golf Talk Canada, which is something that we've spoken about before, the beauty of our show is that the three of us, Mark, Bob, and I, we're really three generations in terms of age. You know, Bob is the oldest. I won't say his age, but Bob is the oldest. Mark's a little younger, and then I'm in my early 30s. And that's one of the cool things about this partnership, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. My dad used to tell me when I was growing up, golf is 90% mental and the other 10% in your head, right? Like that's the saying that I lived and grew up on when I was playing golf as a kid. And you're so true in terms of, that aspect of it. And the way that you three shape up as hosts with the three generations represented there is also an amazing story for us to kind of hook into, because, there's things at every stage of our life as men that we need to be thinking about in terms of our health, whether you're, in my and maybe Mark's generation, where you got to start thinking about things like talking to your doctor about prostate cancer, whether you're in, Bob's generation, where you're really trying to think, how am I going to stay healthy? How am I going to keep being around for the people that I love and the people that love me? And, we hear from a lot of younger guys, especially, those who are at the height of their careers, are really trying to figure out that the mental health stress of life is real. It's a real thing. So there's like amazing intersections throughout those generations to be thinking about your health and to be moving and acting on it. And that's part of Movember's mission. It's really to help men take more agency over their own health, to be active actors in good health and wellness. And golf as well is a great forum for that. It's not just a physical activity, but you can't go 2 or 3 days without seeing a new report on how important social connection is. And I know a lot of people who play golf play it as much for hanging out with their friends and for those deep friendships that they have on the golf course and around the golf course, as they do for the frustration of, missing that birdie putt on 18.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously spending time, social connections, that's been a whole other story too with COVID that now has come and knock on wood, hopefully gone in terms of spending time alone and then getting to go out and play with your friends, play with your family, that sort of thing. So I mentioned off the top that Movember is the official men's health partner of Golf Talk Canada. So for those listening, for those watching on our social channels, what can they expect from Movember and GTC for 2024?
Well, it's really exciting. There's a whole opportunity to have these kinds of conversations about our health. I think we'll be checking in over the course of the season to bring up some of those things. In addition to this, we're really looking at Movember to make more of a presence around the month of June when we have Men's Health Week and Father's Day, and when we have attention of a lot of guys who are thinking about these kinds of things. We'll be releasing a state of men's health report around the world in June. That'll be fun to come back and talk about at some point in time. We're looking at some, contest ideas and some fun things along the way, but we really want to get connected to this amazing audience that is part of the golf community here in Canada. There's no better way than with all of you at GTC.
And you've got quite the cookie duster going right now. The Mo Awards getting underway tonight as we record. Of course, for us on GTC, we'll be growing the mustaches in November. You mentioned some of the contests going, and we'll have much more on that throughout our season. But as we wrap here, we've got Bob, we've got Mark, we've got myself. What do you think? Who's going to grow the best cookie duster come Movember 2024?
Well, here's the thing, Adam. There is no such thing as a bad cookie duster in our books, except for maybe unless you ask, my partner or my daughter. We're carving this out in February here. But look, one of the great things about the mustache is that it's a conversation starter. It's kind of a badge you can wear to talk to people about your health and men's health generally. And there's no better way than to kind of start making fun of yourself in the way that you do it. You had a pretty spectacular one last year.
Thank
So
you.
at the early odds, I'm going to have to put you in the lead just because I haven't seen Mark or Bob's work yet.
Wow. Okay. Well, Mark prides himself on growing facial hair in about an hour. So I'm a little terrified personally. I'm also getting more gray as the days go on here, Todd. So I'm a little skeptical about that. But hey, I love your enthusiasm here. And I love that this partnership is now a thing. Movember, the official men's health partner of Golf Talk Canada. Todd, thanks for your first appearance on GTC. Looking forward to having you on again throughout 2024.
Thanks so much, Adam. We're so excited and happy golfing for everybody who's getting the itch now.